So hello everyone, welcome back again to the channel Safety Talks with Gaurav. This is me Gaurav, and in today's video we are going to discuss about the risk assessment. Okay, so if you are a student, a safety professional, or even someone who is working in industry, this video will help you to understand what is risk assessment and why it matters and how it is done. So without wasting any time, let's begin. Okay, now the first question that is raising in your mind key, what is risk assessment? So risk assessment is a systematic process of identifying hazards, evaluating the risk associated with them, and deciding on the control measures to reduce those kind of risk to an acceptable level. Okay, so this is all about the risk assessment. Okay, if I talk it in a simple words, so it is all about spotting what could go wrong, figuring out how bad it could be, and then making sure we control it before it cause harm. Okay, so this is all about the risk assessment. Now if we talk about the why we do need to do a risk assessment, so because it will help us to protect people from accidents and injuries, help organizations compiling with legal requirements, prevent costly incident and downtime. Apart from that, it is also create a safer and healthier work environment. Okay, remember that a workplace without risk assessment is like driving blindfolded, dangerous, and unpredictable. So this is it, and that's why we have to do the risk assessment for each and every particular activity which is going to be carried out. Okay, now if we talk about the risk assessment, so risk assessment is usually done in 5 simple steps. If I talk about the basic things about the risk assessment, so it is basically done in 5 simple steps. First one is identifying hazards. So we have to identify the hazards, the activity which we are going to carry out. So we have to identify what kind of hazards is being associated with that particular activity. Then second we have to decide who might be harmed and how, who is going to work in that particular working with that particular activity, who is the person who is going to be harmed in that activity. So we have to identify workers, contractors, engineers, or visitors. So these all are the persons, like they have to be harmed if such kind of activity is going to be happen. Okay, now third step is we have to evaluate the risk. So considering likelihood and severity, likelihood multiplied by severity, or likelihood and severity, we have to consider the likelihood of an incident happening and the severity of the outcome. So we have to evaluate the risk. Then we have to implement the control measures. How we can implement the control measures? We have to implement it by using the hierarchy of engineering control, like elimination, substitution, engineering control, administrative control, and PP. So we have to implement such kind of control measures. Then we have to review and update that particular risk assessment. If the workplace is changes, so risk assessment must be updated regularly. Okay, now let's take a quick example. Imagine worker using a ladder at a construction site. So first we have to identify the hazard. So falling from height at that particular activity is a hazard. If we talk about who is at risk, so the worker who is going to work with that particular ladder at working at height is the person who is at risk. Okay, then we have to evaluate the risk. So risk evaluation we have to done. In that scenario, high chance of serious injury will be happen if the worker is going to work at height in that particular ladder. So there is a very high chance there is a very high chance of a severe injury. Now we have to take the control measures. So what kind of control measure we have to use? So using scaffolding or mobile elevated platform instead, ensure ladder is inspected and the worker who is going to working on that particular ladder will be trained, and he will be enforcing the fall protection while working at that particular ladder at height. Okay, then we have to review. We have to regularly check if the control measure is applied or not, and the site is still effective with the control measures or not. So this is an example like how we are going to do a risk assessment. See, that's how risk assessment works in a real life. Okay, so to sum it up, risk assessment isn't just a formality, it's a powerful tool to protect lives and ensure smooth operations. Okay, so by identifying hazards, evaluating risk, and applying proper controls, we create a safer workplace for everyone. So this is it in this video. This is a very basic video about risk assessment. if मैं इसके अलावा भी एक और वीडियो जो है वो अपलोड करने वाला हूँ जिसमें मैं प्रॉपरली टेक्निकली एक्सप्लेन करूँगा कि रिस्क असेसमेंट कैसे करते हैं और हायरार्की ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग कंट्रोल्स को इम्प्लीमेंट करके कैसे हम जो वो उसकी लाइक्लीहुड और सीवियरिटी को जो है वो कम कर सकते हैं और हमारे रिस्क को जो है वो कम कर सकते हैं. आई होप यू लर्न समथिंग फ्रॉम दिस वीडियो. दिस इज मी गौरव दुबे फ्रॉम सेफ्टी टॉक्स विद गौरव, साइनिंग आउट.